so this is the second part of my Echolink demo here. And as you saw before, I tried connecting to one of my friends, but he was not available. So now I'm actually going to show you how to connect and have a QSO. So yeah, alright, as you see here, you can click on the call. Now I'm going to hit enter. Alright, so it's connected, and you have just like a regular phone convo, only it's not full duplex. So like this. KK4 RQO, KM4 AOO.
KM4 AOO, KK4 RQO.
Yeah, Cody. Good to have you on the Echolink here. How are you, and how do you like using the Echolink on what you're on now? Maybe you can tell us about that.
Yeah, Roger, with pleasure. Well, the system I'm using a HP Pavilion with Windows 8.1, has 1 terabyte hard drive and 8 gigs of RAM. And the program's software's 8.
Hang on.
0.1.
There we go.
And I really enjoy that. Just had a few hiccups, but other than that, the actual mic setup I'm using is a simple like a boom mic headset you can pick up at Walmart. This one just happens to be stereo, but before I actually had a mic I could plug in and use, and I'd have the speakers to listen to, but I've since upgraded to that. And if I want to monitor, I've got a set of speakers here. It's kind of a computer home theater system, if you'd like to call it that. To have 2 speakers and a subwoofer, so that makes it sound all the better. But yeah, that's pretty much the basic setup I'm using on this end.
Ah, sounds good. Yeah, so tell us maybe where you're at, and maybe about the repeater. I've already told them about the repeater on Echolink around you, but maybe you can tell us about your equipment and how that repeater, I can't remember the frequency for some reason, but maybe you can tell us about that.
Yeah, Roger. Well, my QTH, or location, if you're just watching this video as studying ham, we say QTH for location there, and the code there, Q code. But my location is Cleveland, Georgia, about 85 miles or so north of Atlanta. And the repeater we talk on here in Cleveland is the K4GAR. The frequency is 146.910. And the PL tone is 100. Negative offset.
Of 600.
Without looking. And my equipment I use when I'm using the RF or off the radio is my 2-meter rig is a Yaesu FT2900R. I have a Cushcraft set of beams, 15 elements, on a crank-up tower, which, when fully extended, is about 40 to 42 feet in air, but we give it about 38, 39 feet, and that gives just enough support so if the wind decides to blow the tower around, it doesn't knock it off the side of the house. And I got an MSJ meter for checking SWR power, so that's pretty much the basic rundown of my 2-meter setup there. Well, that will pass it back over to you, there, Richard. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then I'll share the experience here. Cody, he talked all the way to Cleveland, Tennessee, which is the KA4 ELN repeater on 147.375 with a PL of 123.0 with that set of beams, and he can confirm that for you.
Yeah, Roger. Actually, Richard, you just brought back some old memories there. You're about, oh gosh, it's been about 2 weeks ago now, or 3 weeks, whatever it's been. I was playing around with my beams one day and decided to see if I can get into the W4 BTI machine, which That's one in Marietta, Georgia. We used to talk on there off and on, but it's no more. They have some issues anyway. That's everyone's got their own opinion on that one. But anyways, and one day I key up when I thinking I can get into the W4 BTI. Well, I forget to call it this repeater, but it was in North Carolina, like Charlotte, North Carolina, I think it was. I just can't remember the call on it, and I couldn't believe it. And it was just as clear as if I was getting into the one here in town. I was like, wow. Only problem is it's about 11 o'clock at night, so there's no one on there, but that was a pretty cool experience. Didn't change nothing, didn't change do nothing. I just turned the beat key up, and it was on the same exact everything as the BTI. But yeah, and I also got back into that one in Tennessee, too. That's pretty neat. But yeah, that's pretty much that in a nutshell there.
Yeah, so you got anything else before I wrap it up here and put part 2 on? I guess maybe about tomorrow. Your experiences with checking in past times.
Oh yes, Roger on that for sure. About the Georgia Beach net. If you're watching this and you're an amateur, please, by all means, and I'll let Richard give you all the details of all that, please check into that net. It's a really fun deal, and if you're up and coming and, like say, you just got your license, you'd like somewhere to kind of practice proper procedures, that's a good way for that too. It's a really fun net. I've made a lot of good contacts, close friends in there, all that good stuff. Hopefully we'll hear you on there. I'll be checking into your Echo Link. So with that, we'll turn it back over to Richard to give you the details on the net, and hopefully we'll hear y'all on there. This is KK4RQO. Back over to Richard. Go ahead.
Yeah, and just in case you guys are wondering, technically if you're connected one-on-one like we are now without any RF, you don't have to identify. But if you're going out over a repeater, you have to. So just a little note, you don't have to, even though you could get in trouble, but you don't really have to per se. But yeah, this is Kilo Mike 4 Alpha Oscar Oscar using the correct phonetics. And my net is at 4 o'clock on Saturdays, every Saturday. On if you can see here, the people watching the video on the Alara conference server, and that is 286905 for Echo Link and 9509 for the IRLP. And Cody, I think when I watched your video before you took it down, you also have that in your favorites, correct? And maybe you can also tell me if that's the correct phonetics also, so we both understand and people on here understand.
Well, I talked to a lot of older hams, and phonetics, they're kind of like, how should I say it? It's kind of like debating what's better. Oh gosh, what can I think of here for an example? Oh, here's a perfect example. It's like saying what's better, tomatoes or tomatoes. Same difference. The key to phonetics is to make it really easy for that other station to understand your call, because all phonetics are really there for is you're trying to make a long range connection and it's really weak. So you can use the what we call off the generic phonetics like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, so forth, or you can come up with something unique. There's like a guy here in town, his is W4DUI. Well, if you're using the generic form, it'd be Whiskey for Delta India Uniform. But you can have a little fun with that. In his case, it's Whiskey for Driving Under the Influence or DUI. So you can come up with something unique. If you wanted to find something unique for your specific caller, you could. It's just just helps long range stations that kind of understand your station that thanks you said another letter you call understand you also. Mine is Kilo 4 Romeo Quebec Oscar, but when I want something different, I just say really quick operator because it's along the same lines. So with that, we'll turn it back over to you from KK4RQO or Kilo Kilo 4, really quick operator.
And mine is Kilo Mike 4, always online. Even though there's no O, I mean L, I use the O in the beginning of online. So, confusing but close enough to work. So, yeah, you got anything else here? I got 55 minutes, but I don't think my phone battery could hold out for 55 minutes. So, yeah. But you got anything else here before I wrap the part 2 up?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about it too. If the viewing audience would like to see how to make a contact on 2 meters, they can check out my channel. That's Mountain Man, no capitals, no spaces, and the number 3225. You try it all together, Mountain Man 3225, and you can see a QSO between Richard and I when we did a video called How to Make a Contact on 2 meters, and I also have one on round tables and rag shoes. So we'll talk to y'all there sometime. This is KK4RQO, and we'll be clear after Richard's final.
Alright, Cody, I'll put the information and everything down there once I upload this. So, yeah, we'll catch you in a few.